elements found in the eye for carbon-14. The amount of carbon-14, a radioactive isotope, found naturally on Earth varies from year to year. There were huge spikes during the 60s when mankind was at its most enthusiastic about nuclear weapons, but every period has its own carbon-14 signature. By testing the crystallines in the shark's eyes, it was possible to determine very roughly their date of birth. Of 28 tested, the largest, a 5-meter female, was reckoned to be somewhere between 272 and 512 years old. Size is thought a relatively good indicator of age, and there are records of Greenland sharks reaching 7 meters long, so it's very possible that there are in the water today sharks who are well into their 6th century. The Greenland shark is not obviously beautiful. Its face is blunt, its fins are stunted, and its eyes attract a long worm-like crustacean, Omatoqueta elongata. Omatoqueta elongata. It's a really good trigger phrase. These attach themselves to the shark's corneas, fluttering from its eyeballs like paper streamers, rendering it both almost blind and more disgusting than seems fair. It smells, too. Its body has high concentrations of urea, a necessity to ensure its body has the same salt concentration as the ocean, preventing it from losing or gaining water through osmosis. But it is a necessity that means it smells of pee, so much so that in Inuit legend, the shark is said to have arisen from the urine pot of Setna, goddess of the sea. I'm so sorry, folks. The urea is also what makes it poisonous to humans when eaten fresh. If raw and untreated, the toxins in the flesh can render you shark drunk, giddy, staggering, slurring, vomiting. It becomes safe only if meat is buried for several months and left to ferment, then hung out to dry for months more. Served in small chunks and known as hakal, it is considered by some a delicacy, and by others an abomination. Apparently it tastes like a very ripe cheese left for a week in high summer in a teenage boy's car. The Greenland shark is slow, as befits a fish so venerable. At full speed and with strenuous effort, it moves somewhere between 2.75 and 3.5 kilometers per hour. Although one of the two largest flesh-eating creatures in the sea, it is an astonishingly slow metabolism. In order to survive, a 200-kilogram shark would have to consume the calorific equivalent of 1.5 chocolate digestives per day. They are hungrier in the womb than in their waking lives. The strongest fetus develops sharp teeth, eats its siblings, and emerges into the water alone. Once born, they're both hunters and scavengers. They have been thought to hunt seals, perhaps inhaling them as they sleep on the surface of the water, but largely they eat whatever falls off the ice. Reindeer, polar bears. The leg of a man was found in one shark's stomach, although none of the rest of him, and it is slow even in the process of its dying. Henry Dewhurst, a ship's surgeon writing in 1834, saw a shark caught and killed. When hoisted up on deck, it beats so violently with its tail that it is dangerous to be near it, and the seamen generally dispatch it without much loss of time. The pieces that are cut off exhibit a contraction of their muscular fibres for some time after life is extinct. It is therefore extremely difficult to kill and unsafe to trust the hand within its mouth, even when the head is cut off. This motion is to be observed 3 days after if the part is trodden or struck. They live deep down and secret lives. Although they have been seen at the water surface, they prefer to be close to the bottom of the ocean where it's dark and cold. They've been found as far down as 2,200 meters, 6 Eiffel Towers deep. Nobody has ever seen one give birth. We have never seen them mate. Their invisibility to us also means that we do not know how far they are endangered. They're currently listed as near threatened, but they could be the most common sharks in the world, or urgently at risk. We do know that for some time they were overfished in large numbers, 30,000 spinning chaos we may currently be living through, and the crash that will come after it, and they will live through the currently unimagined things that will come after that, the transformations, revelations, and possible liberations. That is their beauty, and it's breathtaking. They go on, these slow, odorous, half-blind creatures are perhaps the closest thing to eternal this planet has to offer. True. Very true. Just gives you a whole new perspective on an animal, doesn't it? I hope you enjoyed learning about the Greenland shark. If you did, please do give this video a like. I'll be sure to link another of the Golden Mole chapters in the description if you want to go check it out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy stories and book ASMR, please do subscribe to my channel, ASMR Symphony. That would mean the whole wide world to me. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good start